What's up, guys? Matt Modoc here with Crossing Broad, here to talk to you about the Phillies versus Mariners game tonight. I'm going to have 3 home run props to lock in for this game tonight, so I do love the home run slate a pretty decent amount. It's the third and final game of this Mariners-Phillies series. The Phillies took the first two. Looking for the sweep tonight, or I should say today, with the game starting early. 1 p.m. Eastern is the scheduled first pitch for this game just after that. We did manage to cash our one play last night. It was Christopher Sanchez, 7+ strikeouts. He hit that in the third inning. We could have climbed a pretty full ladder on that one because he ended the day with like 12 strikeouts, but we'll take winning our one and only play of the day. As for today, Jesus Luzardo is on the mound for the Phillies, Luis Castillo for the Mariners. As I mentioned, I'm going to have 3 home run props to lock in for this game today. Just before we get into that, remember, go to BetMGM, use the promo code CROSSING to sign up to get in on the action. And then for this video, if you could comment, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel as we attempt to grow this thing. And we can get right into it. So the first play that we're locking in for today is Eugenio Suarez to hit a home run, plus 390 odds as the best offered price. Now, looking at Suarez, I will admit, he hasn't quite come around to his new team. And I don't mean that like emotionally he hasn't come around. He just hasn't been hitting the ball with the Mariners at the same rate he did with the Diamondbacks. But you look at him over the last week, he has respectable numbers. Not amazing, but respectable. He's got 8 hard hits and 2 barrels over the last 7 days. Again, that's not going to put him among the tops in the MLB, but for what we're looking for, it's about the minimum, and we'll take it. That said, there are a couple reasons to believe he is going to be able to hit a home run in this matchup today. Number one, he's going up against left-handed pitching. He has just absolutely crushed lefties this year. Now, we'll get into Jesus Luzardo. I mentioned that he's the pitcher for the Phillies. He is a lefty. On the entire year, Suarez has an ISO rate of 316 against left-handed pitching. That's the 4th best ISO rate against lefties in the entire MLB. Puts him in really, really solid company with guys like Aaron Judge. That's pretty good. His barrel rate against lefties is 16.5%. That's not going to put him among the tops in the MLB, but it's a good number. Barrel rate, anything 15% and above, is considered excellent as defined by Fangraphs. So him being at 16.5%, good to go. The reason Suarez is such a good home run hitter is because he does a really good job hitting fly balls, putting the ball in the air. It's an underrated skill when you're looking for players to hit a home run. The ball's got to be put in the air. And Suarez against lefties has a fly ball rate of about 50%. So half the time he makes contact with the baseball from a lefty, it's a fly ball. That's pretty good. You look at him over the last 30 days, he has not nearly crushed left-handed pitching the rate he has on the entire year. But there are reasons to believe that he's coming around. His barrel rate, 16.7%. Again, that's within his season-long barrel rate, a pretty good number. And he's hitting a fly ball about 55% of the time, which is even higher. The issue is his hard hit rate is not where you would like, which is why he hasn't been able to clear fences. But again, there are signs that he is coming out of it. You look at the game he had yesterday, he didn't hit a home run. He about came as close as you possibly can, hitting a double off the wall into the deepest part of the Phillies home stadium. He hit a baseball 415 feet. There are not many places at the bank where a ball can travel 415 feet and not clear a fence. It would have been a home run in 22 out of 30 stadiums. Pretty unlucky to not be a home run. And you look, so the home runs hit by Kyle Schwarber and Bryson Stott last night, both of them were shorter than 415 feet. Not only that, the hardest hit of the game wasn't even the double I'm talking about. It was 109 exit velocity for Suarez. Again, the hardest hit of the entire game. Now that didn't have the launch angle to be a real home run threat, but that's 2 absolutely annihilated baseballs going up against a lefty that can get hit hard. So I like Suarez a lot tonight. The guess here is that he's going to start going on a home run binge. Let's hope that starts tonight. That's play number 1. Next up, we're going with another batter on the Mariners, and this time we're going with Randy Arozarena, who we can get at plus 450 odds as the best offered price. Now, one thing that I didn't mention at all when talking about the Eugenio Suarez home run prop was Jesus Luzardo. All I mentioned was the fact that he's pitching. So we're going to get into him now. Now, Luzardo's got excellent stuff. Some of the pitches this guy throws, you wonder how anybody can even make contact with the baseball against him. He can also implode at any moment. He could be cruising through 5 innings. Guess what? That 6th inning could be an adventure. Now, he's coming off of 2 okay starts. Now, his last start against the Nats wasn't great. He struck out 7, gave up 3 runs, gave up 1 home run. Was good 2 starts ago against the Rangers, but still gave up 7 hits. But you take a step back, you look at every single start he has made since the All-Star break, which is 6. He's allowed a home run every 18 at-bats or so. against right-handed hitters. We're looking for that number to be below 20. So him being at 18, you take out all the noise and you just look at that. That's not bad. The barrel rate, the hard hit rate allowed are okay to good. Hard hit rate is kind of low. Barrel rate is okay. But he's allowing guys to clear fences. And he's allowed 6 home runs since the All-Star break. All 6 of them have been hit by righties. So this is not a situation where you want a lefty on lefty against Luzardo. It's really only righties that are doing damage against him, which makes sense, right? A left-handed pitcher. Then you look at Arozarena. Now, he did not quite crush a baseball 415 feet like Suarez did, but Arozarena still had a pretty impressive day at the plate yesterday. He had 2 hard hits. Both of them were above 100 miles an hour exit velocity, which is what you're looking for. A hard hit is good. Above 100 is really what you're looking for. And both of them had decent launch angles. Like, if you hit a baseball 100 miles an hour off the bat and it's got a negative degree launch angle and it was a ground out, that's not really anything to brag about. That's not what Arozarena did. He had 1 hard hit, 101 miles an hour off the bat, 22 degree launch angle, traveled 366 feet. I'm not going to say that is a bad beat, that wasn't a home run like the Suarez play, but it's hit pretty well. A little bit of a higher launch angle, or if it was pulled to the foul pole, that probably clears a fence. Regardless, hit well. And then you look at him, he had another one. So he had the one that I just talked about. And then he had another one that was also 101 miles an hour off the bat. That one had an 18 degree launch angle. Now, generally, the launch angle for a real home run threat needs to be 25 degrees, between like 25 and 35 degrees. So 22, 18, a little bit lower than what you would like. That's still a good day overall for Arozarena. And you look at him, it's kind of the opposite of Suarez. Arozarena was ice cold to start the year, basically April, May, and basically all of June. He couldn't hit a baseball. That all changed on June 30th. He hit 2 home runs on June 30th. And since then, he's basically been on fire with like maybe a week or 2 stretch where he couldn't hit anything, but generally been very, very good. That's 8-9 weeks since that moment. In that stretch, so this is looking at June 30th until now, he's played 44 games. He's hit 15 home runs in 44 games, which is a pretty healthy number. His ISO rate is 292 in that stretch, which is excellent. His barrel rate in that stretch, 15.3%, which is also excellent. Now, again, Fangraphs, I mentioned barrel rate. They define anything 15% or higher as excellent. That's the highest marking they'll give. For ISO rate, anything 250 and above is considered excellent. So both of those numbers, good for Arozarena. That would actually be the 7th best ISO rate in the entire MLB if you extrapolated that out, and a top 20 barrel rate. And again, that's since June 30th. So it's not like just a weak sample size or anything like that. But with all that said, he has been even better against left-handed pitching. Look at the same stretch of games. His ISO rate against lefties, 327. That's higher than the Suarez number that I mentioned earlier. And that would also be the 4th best in the entire MLB. So Arozarena, I really like for him to cash one out for us tonight. And then our third and final pick, we're rolling with another batter on the Mariners, and we're going with Julio Rodriguez to hit a home run, plus 500 odds. As always, we save our best play in terms of odds for last. That's always how we do it. And you can make an argument that Rodriguez has been hitting the ball the best of any hitter on the Mariners, not just of the 3 that we talked about. Now, before we get into that, I just want to say I've taken 3 players on the same team. The goal here isn't to win all 3. The goal is if we hit 1, we're making money. If we hit multiple, because of the odds, we're making a lot of money. So I don't recommend putting these in an SGP, same game parlay, or anything like that. I don't recommend going crazy with the unit size. I generally recommend a quarter unit on home run plays. So that's how I'd recommend for this. And even if we get Suarez, we're making money based on the odds. And that's kind of the whole goal here for taking these home run props. Now, just wanted to get that out of the way. Now looking at Julio Rodriguez, not only does he lead the Mariners in total hard hits over the last 7 days, he's got 14. That number, 14 hard hits, is actually tied with the league lead of all MLB players over the last week. He's tied with 2 other batters that have 14 or more hard hits over the last 7 days. That puts him in really, really good company. But it's not just the last week for Julio Rodriguez. He's got 23 hard hits over the last 14 days. That's very good. That's tied for the 3rd most in the MLB. He's got 46 hard hits over the last 30 days, which is very good. The 6th most in the entire MLB. So you look at his hard hit numbers among the best, like top 5, top 6, top 1, depending on the time frame you look at. In the last 30 days, his barrel rate, 16%. Again, that's a smaller sample size than the Arozarena number. Still 30 days, still above 15%, still very, very good. But as I'm sure you could have guessed, One thing that Julio Rodriguez does that matches the other two batters that we've talked about, smokes, just annihilates left-handed pitching, especially recently. I mean, you kind of look at the theme of what I'm going for here. 3 batters on the Mariners that are hitting the ball hard, 3 guys that crush left-handed pitching. Over the last 30 days, Julio Rodriguez has an ISO rate of 433 against lefties. That is incredible. It's a 30-day sample size, so I get it. But if you took that to the entire league of all qualified batters, it would lead the MLB. It's a higher ISO rate against left-handed pitching than Aaron Judge on the entire year. His barrel rate over the last 30 days against lefties, 20%. Really, really impressive numbers. So you kind of take a step back and you sum everything up. So not only Julio Rodriguez, the hottest batter on the Mariners just in general, he's hitting lefties the best on the Mariners over the last 30 days. And he's a top 5 batter in the entire MLB in terms of hard hits. And we're getting him at the best price of plus 500. So there's a ton to like about J-Rod tonight. Hopefully he comes through, cashes one out for us. And that's all we got. 3 home run predictions for you guys to lock in. Eugenio Suarez at 390. Randy Arozarena at 450, and Julio Rodriguez at plus 500. One of these guys hits a home run, we're making money. Multiple of these guys hits a home run, we're making a lot of money. Let's hope for that. I appreciate everybody for watching. Again, make sure to go to BetMGM, use the promo code CROSSING to sign up. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, bet responsibly, and have a good one. Must be 21 or older in participating states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See terms and conditions in the description of the video.